Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the procession of graduating class at Georgia Southwestern State University 2013.
Good morning, everyone. You may be seated. Students, faculty, staff, parents, friends, and special guests, welcome to Georgia Southwestern State University in this 2013 Fall Commencement ceremony. Graduation, obviously, is a special time. Today, as you graduates receive your diplomas, you'll be walking through a portal that will take you into the next phase of your lives. You have studied, you have learned, and most importantly, you have persisted, and now you join the ranks of the college educated. We wish you well, as now you put your education to work. Whether you're going to graduate school, enrolling in professional school, or taking positions in the real world, our faculty and staff have worked hard to teach, groom, and prepare you to succeed. Now it's up to you to demonstrate that they've done a good job, and I'm confident that you will. At this time, I'd like to extend a special welcome to our special guests who are seated off to my right. First of all, the GSW Foundation Board Chair, Mr. Jimmy Skipper. Next to him, another member of our Foundation Board, Dr. Wallace Mays. Next to Dr. Mays is my wife, Dr. Connie Blanchard, and next to her is another member of our Foundation Board, Ms. Eloise Pascal. Again, welcome and congratulations to you, the graduates of 2013.
My name is Laverne Worthy, and I'm very glad to share with you that I am a graduate of Georgia Southwestern State University. This place has always had a special little spot in my heart, and that continues to be the case. I'm grateful for those of you who are graduating for the time that you shared with me in your time here at Georgia Southwestern. I think that you're at a just absolutely wonderful transition point, and I think that this is a time when you should stop and think about so many things. I personally have many, many good wishes for you. For example, I wish you have an impressive job with enormous salaries. But that won't make you happy. I wish that you have fancy cars and massive houses, but that won't make you happy. I wish you have boats and jewels or whatever possessions that you dream about, those things that you desire, but that will not make you happy. I wish you status in the community, and I hope all of your neighbors have a great deal of regard for you. And that's nice, but it won't make you happy. What will make you happy? There are a couple of things that I'd like for you to think about. First, you have to stay true to yourself. Be who you want to become. We're always becoming. There's never going to be a day that you're finished. You're always building, always working toward that person that you want to be. Never compromise that person, and work hard on being the person you want to be. There are people who'll try to sort of urge you off track. Sometimes they'll even try to force you a little bit off track. Don't let them do it. Don't be persuaded by other people. Don't do anything that's inconsistent with the person that you want to be. You'll enjoy many, many wonderful experiences out there in the real world, but there will be times that you fall. I'd like to share with you a quote from Nelson Mandela. Nelson said, "Do not judge me by my successes. Judge me by how many times I fell down and got back up again." Your successes will not define your character. How you handle your failures will be the thing that is character building in your life. You need character. You need it when you've fallen down. You need it when you have to get back up again. There is a second thing that will add to your happiness. And those are the people that you can always count on. They'll be there for you. And of course, these are the people that you want to make very sure you're there for them as well. It's a sort of reciprocal, interactive kind of deal, but you are there for each other. Truly, those persons who are there for you and who you are there for are your life treasures. Look around in this audience. Aren't some of those treasures in your life here today? Appreciate them. Let them know they are appreciated. Enjoy these people that you love. Then you will be happy. I would like to close with another Nelson Mandela quote. And Nelson said, "Tread softly, breathe peacefully, laugh hysterically." Thank you.
University Choir, and Dr. Megginson, thank you for that beautiful rendition. It is my great privilege and honor to recognize the faculty member who has been awarded the Excellence and Commitment to Teaching Award for this academic year. This is an award that is handed out by the GSW Alumni Association. Today we are giving that award in absentia. Our awardee is not present with us, but we still want to recognize his accomplishments. One thing that was said in the nomination form for this awardee is that he is a teacher's teacher. And I think once you hear that the awardee is Dr. Jeff Waldrop, professor of English, all of us who know Dr. Waldrop would certainly agree. So even though he's not here today, let's please give a round of applause for his accomplishment. Thank you.
At this time, it's my pleasure to introduce our commencement speaker, Mr. Rob Watts. Mr. Watts has been serving as the interim president of Georgia Perimeter College since May of 2012, having actually held this same position once before in 2005 and 2006. In addition to these appointments, he has held interim presidencies at Highlands College and Middle Georgia College. From 2006 to 2012, Mr. Watts was the Chief Operating Officer for the University System of Georgia. And prior to his going to work in higher education, he served for 4 years as a budget analyst for the state legislature. Rob Watts knows Georgia politics, and Georgia education, higher education. I've been employed in higher education for over 40 years, and during that time I've worked with literally hundreds of college and university administrators. I can honestly say Rob Watts is one of a kind. He combines an amazing grasp of budgets and numbers with a thorough grounding in the humanities. He understands the world of politics as well as the culture of the academy, and he can be both painfully precise and pleasantly clever at the same time. Using the language of baseball, I would describe Rob Watts as a pinch hitter. You bring him in when you need a hit. He's also a fixer. You give him the broken pieces, and he will put them back together for you. Most recently, President Watts stepped into a situation at Georgia Perimeter near the end of the fiscal year when it had just been discovered that the institution was approximately $20 million in the red on the brink of financial collapse. Most of us familiar with the situation thought that it would take years to get GPC back on its feet. Rob Watts, the fixer, turned it around in a year, and with surprisingly few drastic cuts or disruptions. Rob Watts grew up in my hometown, Gainesville, Florida, which probably explains his brilliance. I mean, give me a break. He's from Gainesville, right? What do you expect? Rob left Gainesville, though, to go to college and his undergraduate work at Florida State, his graduate work at Johns Hopkins University. Over the past year, President Watts has worked to strengthen the partnership between Georgia Perimeter and Georgia Southwestern. Thanks in part to his efforts, the number of students enrolling in our joint 3-year baccalaureate degree program in business has increased to over 300. In addition, he and I have just recently signed a new agreement that will allow students to start at GPC and complete a computer science bachelor's degree at GSW, all within 3 years. So, I am pleased to welcome to the podium this morning a friend of Georgia Southwestern, our fall commencement speaker, President Rob Watts. President Watts.
Thank you very much, President Blanchard, for that kind introduction. Want some water? I do need to say something about what Dr. Worthy said, and while she is absolutely right that all of those big salaries and fancy cars and jewels and boats won't make you happy, they don't make you miserable either. Well, there is a place for them. It's an honor to be with all of you this morning at this commencement ceremony. At such a time as this, it is the speaker's task to be inspiring and uplifting. However, I need you to know that I came to the interim president job not from being an inspiring and uplifting faculty member, but from being a business officer at a college, a bureaucrat, one of those mundane and annoying people who always find a way to say no to everything. No, niet, nein, nada, can't do it, against the rules, can't afford it. I don't do inspiring and uplift. So please keep your expectations modest this morning. As a student, I had the opportunity to participate in 3 graduations, and I didn't go to any of them. I didn't want to graduate. Graduation meant having to start paying back your student loans. Graduation meant facing the marriage question with my girlfriend. Graduation meant I could no longer be carried on my parents' health insurance, the end of the gravy train. I stayed at Florida State so long that I was the first student awarded tenure. But this is your graduation, not mine, your meaning, not mine. While I cannot rise to inspiring and uplifting, I will at least try to reach ordinary and mundane. I have 2 quick topics this morning. I know I should be making 3 points, not 2. It may be the reason I never did very well in English. Everyone makes 3 points in an English 1101 essay, but sometimes 2 points just want to be alone with one another, and 3's a crowd. So, first, if you haven't already made it, you have an important decision ahead of you. And second, what do you do if you're not ready to decide? First of the 2 then. You have had the wonderful privilege of studying with one of the best faculties in the university system. They have prepared you well to move on to the next phase of your life. The question for you, therefore, is what are you seeking in this next phase? Are you going to seek a job, or are you listening for a calling? Are you looking for a job, or are you searching for a vocation? Will you be trying to find a job, or will you be trying to find your life's work? Calling, vocation, life's work. The word calling from the classical Greek verb kaline, vocation from the Latin vocare, to call. Life's work owes more to the Protestant reformer Martin Luther's idea of Beruf in German, or one's work. What is different about a calling, a vocation, a life's work from a job? Does a calling, vocation, a life's work mean making a ton of money? No. Does it mean having a fancy position title? No. Does it mean doing something easy or fun or exotic or not working with your hands or being on TV or having no stress? No. The difference is none of these. What is it then? Each of us has specific gifts and talents. Each one of you has a specific gift and talent. A calling, a vocation, a life's work matches your inner gift or talent with the outside world. When the match between your inner gift and the outside world is right, then you hear it as a call. You are called to be doing this in this world. When the match is right, it gives you a voice, your own voice, a vocation. When the match is right, it changes labor, the effort to make it through a single day, into a life's work, the creation of a legacy. A calling, a vocation, a life's work, then, is not all about you. It's also about others, about the balance between giving and receiving. From the outside, it's not easy to tell a calling, a vocation, a life's work from a job. All work has dignity. So how can you tell if you found your true calling? It may be easier to tell if you haven't found it. Here are some clues. You may only be just in a job if you take cigarette breaks even if you don't smoke. You may be just in a job if you are 23 years old and know exactly how many hours you need to work to retirement. You may be just in a job if you get depressed by leap years. Oh no, one more working day. You may just be in a job if you look forward to ice storms, hurricanes, tornadoes, electrical outages, and disease outbreaks that require quarantine. Oh boy, plague. You may just be in a job if the only thing hanging on your office wall is a calendar with the days crossed off in magic marker. And finally, you may just be in a job if you refer to the weekend as being paroled. So you have a hard decision to make. Settle for a job or respond to that calling, that voice, that life's work, the match between who you are and what the world needs. Now I've come to the second point in these remarks. What if you haven't heard it yet? What if you're not certain? Gifts and talents mature at different rates. Mathematicians and poets tend to catch fire young, historians and biologists much later. I have two brothers. One started drawing on a scrap of paper with crayons when he was 3 and started painting as soon as he could hold a brush. He became an artist. His calling has always been art. My other brother trained as an architect and practiced as an architect for several years. At around the age of 30, he sensed that architecture wasn't his life's work. He went through a very difficult period of his life, went back to school, and became a minister. He eventually found his vocation. The philosopher William James would call my two brothers once born and twice born. My first brother was once born, his life a straight line from childhood to adulthood to life's work. My second brother is twice born, a life that took a dramatic turn before finding its true vocation. Of course, where does that leave the rest of us? I am neither once born nor twice born in this sense. Like some of you, I suspect, I continue to listen for my calling. So what can we do while we wait to redeem the time, as a wise book puts it? We can do 3 things. 1, you sometimes have to find out what you don't like before you can figure out what you like. My first job back in high school was arranged by my father in the way that fathers have of knowing how to teach a smarty-pants kid a lesson. Sent me to live over a summer with my grandparents who lived near the coast, and at the crack of dawn each day I got up and rowed out to the rocks and with a rake scraped seaweed off the rocks, and then took it back to the shore and dried it out and sold dry seaweed at 25 cents a pound. It takes a lot of dry seaweed to make a pound. And that was the most important summer of my life. I knew I didn't want to be selling dry seaweed for the rest of my life. A negative experience can be very valuable. Sometimes you just have to find out what doesn't fit you. 2, sometimes you have to fail. I started out to become a college professor, like my father and one grandfather. My first teaching post was at the Atlanta Federal Penitentiary at night. Retention in my class was 100%. Graduation was 0%. No one got out. I was teaching English, and these were students whose inability to communicate was almost as confining to their lives as the stone walls and iron bars around them. But I discovered that I was not a very good teacher. I didn't have that intangible quality that faculty members have of connecting with students and bringing out the best in them. I tried teaching in a couple more places, Georgia Tech and Georgia State, with the same result and finally figured it was me, not the students. A very painful recognition. I moved over to being a business officer and remained very jealous of those called to teach, like the faculty here. 3, sometimes you have to wait and wait and wait. Not passively, waiting for something to hit you in the head, but actively, with attention, your radar attuned, your heart receptive, your mind open, and your soul responsive. Shakespeare said that ripeness is all, by which he meant that timing is everything. So much of our life is timing. Waiting, in its most elemental mood, is sensitivity to timing. 3 of the philosophers most important to me, Crosby, Stills, and Nash, which definitely dates me, put it in one of their great songs, "So much time to make up everywhere you turn, time we have wasted on the way, so much water moving underneath the bridge, let the water come and carry us away." To the graduates, don't settle for a job, hold out for your calling, your vocation, your life's work. For those whose calling, vocation, and life's work is not yet clear, don't be afraid to try, don't be afraid to fail, and don't be afraid to wait. Discovering that calling, however long and painful, will make up the time everywhere you turn. Congratulations, graduates. It's now time to start paying off your student loans. Thank you very much.
The fields of study at Georgia Southwestern State University are grouped under 5 academic units, each chaired by an academic dean. It is my pleasure at this time to recognize these deans who will assist in the presentation of candidates for their degrees. The College of Arts and Sciences, Dr. Kelly McCoy. The College, please, let's hold applause till everybody's been introduced, thank you. The School of Computing and Mathematics, Dr. Boris Peltzberger. The School of Business Administration, Dr. Elizabeth Wilson. The School of Education, Dr. Yvette Howard. And the School of Nursing, we have the Callaway Distinguished Professor standing in for our Dean, Dr. Teresa Teasley. And we are delighted to have your family and friends here to celebrate this important achievement of graduation and want to be sure that each graduate receives full recognition in today's ceremony. While we welcome well-deserved applause, loud cheers and noisemakers create disruptions that often drown out names of other graduates walking across the stage. Every GSW graduate has worked diligently for this day and deserves to hear his or her name read as that prize degree is awarded. So please, help us celebrate all our graduates with the respect and dignity that they have earned. And now, I would like to call upon the candidates for the degree Specialist in Education to please rise. Mr. President, I present to you, standing before us, and those names printed in our program who have completed satisfactorily all requirements for their degrees, this degree of Specialist in Education.
Thank you. By the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents of the University System of Georgia, I hereby confer upon you the Specialist in Education degree with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereunto.
Sonia Terry Harnage. Laura Lee Hilton. Eva Tamikia Joyner. Brent Lacey Joyner. Candace Cherie Powell. Letitia Marie Sims. Emily Smith. Crystal Borders Waddell.
Let's congratulate these latest graduates from GSW. Georgia Southwestern State University provides the following master's degrees: Master of Business Administration, Master of Science in Computer Science, and Master of Education. Will the candidates for these degrees please rise? Mr. President, I present to you, standing before us, and those names in our printed program, the candidates who have satisfactorily completed all requirements for their degrees.
By the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents of the University System of Georgia, I now confer upon you the master's degree and all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereunto.
School of Business, Master of Business Administration.
Shin Fan. Tori B. Gillette. Valisa Lynette Hinton.
School of Computing and Mathematics, Master of Science.
David Andrew Bradshaw. Brooks Robinson. Brian L. Rowland.
School of Education, Master of Education.
Robert Jerome Bailey, Jr. Jasmine Renita Latrice Bennett. Donna Miller Cordell. Natasha Ella Virginia Davis. Rebecca Allison Hamilton. Shamika Renee Jackson. Haley Camp Gilchrist. Heather Elaine Lawrence. Brittany Janae Marshall. Josephine P. McGriff. Katie Nicole Mueller. Travis Jermaine Phelps. Christy Lee Willis.
Let's congratulate these latest graduates. Georgia Southwestern State University provides the following baccalaureate degrees: Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Bachelor of Science, Bachelor of Business Administration, Bachelor of Science in Education, and Bachelor of Science in Nursing. Will the candidates for these degrees please rise? Mr. President, I am pleased to present for the conferring of degrees these candidates standing before us and whose names are in the printed program, who have satisfactorily completed all requirements for their degrees.
By the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents of the University System of Georgia, I hereby confer upon you the bachelor's degree with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereunto.
Candidates, would you please be seated until your marshal calls you up? Thank you. And we begin with the College of Arts and Sciences, the Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Fine Arts, and Bachelor of Science.
Kayla Marie Alexander. Brianna Ray Brown. Holly Elizabeth Brown, cum laude. Kayla Ann Brown. Thomas David Bruce. Maria Chandrea Campbell. Leslie Danielle Cannon. Chantel Monique Collins. Caitlin Marie Crosby, Gamma Beta Phi. Alicia Lynn Daly, cum laude. Anthony Todd Davis. Leah Nicole Falconer. Bobby Dale Glover II. Jaleesa Caribia Hamilton. Abigail Lee Hamlin, cum laude. Sarah Jean Hammock. Michael Allen Hannibal. Tenacious Danae Harrison. Brittany Ford Jackson. Kimberly Jade Jackson. Courtney Lee Johnson. Latoya Janice Johnson. Ricky H. Johnson. Felicia Ferris Jones. Obalantis Lawanda Jones. Priscilla Elise Jones. Devin May Kester. Katie Lynn Kazar. Mildred Korkor Lexi Teta. Janet Ellen Lewis. Amber Danielle Mann. Stephanie Marlisha Marcellus. Lisa R. McGuire, magna cum laude. Jonathan Patrick McVaney. Jeffrey Maurice Malloy. Chloe Samantha Millsaps. Jimmy Lamar Moore. Audrey Elaine Pugh. Dana Rose Rosario, cum laude. Rossi Andrew Ross. Virginia Lynette Smith, magna cum laude. Jennifer Lynn Starvetsky. Ashley Nicole Swanson, Gamma Beta Phi. Sarah Nawana Teal, cum laude. Tanika Kempha Thomas. Ezawani Oziama Ubani Aberi. John Mark Watford Jr., magna cum laude. Gabrielle Thomas West. Brittany Charlissa Wright, cum laude. Kelby Grace Ziegenhain.
School of Business Administration, Bachelor of Business Administration.
Amy Christine Addison. Frank Joseph Ambrosino. Jamila Amina Averill, cum laude. Lucas Darrell Bartley. Jacqueline Nicole Beckham, cum laude. Jonathan Allen Bernardon. Tony Ariel Brown. Brittany Sherelle Burns. Casey Lane Burns. Jenna Lee Camp. Franklin Delano Childress III. Seth Edmund Collins. Gordon Keith Eason. Brittany Miranda Gardner, magna cum laude. Rachel Nicole Glenn, magna cum laude. Shatira Siobhan Green, cum laude. Jerry Mark Harden, Jr. Stephen Travis Harper. Angelica Denise Harris. Amanda Delane Harvey. Wyatt Jamon Hawkins. Matthew Eric Haygood, cum laude. Byron Rashad Haynes. Eric Wayne Hughes. Jennifer Marie Irvin. Brian Lee Johnson. Daryl Frank Johnson. Kareem Michelle Johnston. Leandra K. Kelly, cum laude. Darby Davis Lucasius, cum laude, Gamma Beta Phi. Rebecca Elliott Martin, magna cum laude. Nia Danielle McClunny. India LaSalle Mitchell. Carissa Kame Morris, cum laude. Carnisha Lene Mosley. Edris Denise Murray. Emily Nhu Nguyen Nyak Nguyen. Shonda Michelle Noel. Christella Shadra Pierre. Avery Lee Hersher, cum laude. Chandler Allen Ray. Lomenzo Reddick. Erica Nicole Reed, magna cum laude. Jessica Marie Rowland. Richard Earl Russell. Christopher G. Samuto. Logan Malia Smith. Camilla Snipes. Nancy Audrey Spires. Marcus Dale Spivey. Michael Kyle Sperlin. Catherine Powell Stover. Christy Turner Suggs, magna cum laude. Sharon LaWanda Tarver. Chastity Diana Teague. Rebecca Kathleen Thornton. Ryan Wayne Tucker. Anthony Dean Turpin, magna cum laude. Kimberly Ann Burley. Candace Brooke Walker. Kwajalein Lynette Waters. Michael Wayne Wehunt Jr. Jeremy Tremaine Williams. Jessica Keon Williams, magna cum laude. Hei Wang, cum laude.
The School of Computing and Mathematics, Bachelor of Science.
Shannon Nicole Ashman. Christopher James Eastwood, magna cum laude. Christopher Thomas Philip. Benjamin T. Style Fraser. Yusman Shell Harris. John C. Jones. Jürgen Paul Malinau. Megan Elizabeth Pico. Blake Thomas Phillips. Kirsty Ariel Pickens. Sherika Anisha Turner. Darian Deontay Wims.
The School of Education, Bachelor of Science in Education.
Amy Elizabeth Baker. Ashanti Nicole Brown. Richard Scott Burgess, magna cum laude, Gamma Beta Phi. Jasmine Nicole Culver. Jennifer Louise Deaver, magna cum laude. Alexandria LaBelle Drake. Linda Maria Esparza. Catrice Nicole Gates. Shannon Lachey Greer. Leonard Jones. Christy Elaine Manis. Tony Kezia McHenry. Caitlin Conley Moorfield, magna cum laude. Emery Fouché Parker III. Courtney Danielle Riggs, cum laude. Tracy Denise Royal. Courtney Sierra Smith. Mary Catherine Stowe. Lauren Elizabeth Strickland. Carly Janae Thompson, magna cum laude. Erin Renee Vick, cum laude. Laura Hadley Wars, cum laude. Ivy O'Hearn Wills, cum laude. Luella Wright. Kayla Ann York.
School of Nursing, Bachelor of Science in Nursing.
Tiffany Michelle Arnett. Charles Robert Cole. Sherry C. Ellis. Michael Gallagher. Susan Eccles Howard. Amanda Diane Jackson. Barbara Patricia Orange. Leah Diane Taylor.
Let's congratulate these latest graduates.
kind word of congratulations. But before we go, as we always do, I would like to remind the graduates that they didn't get here by themselves. They've had a lot of help, and a lot of people who are here today in the audience helped. And at this point, I would like parents, friends, and others who have helped support our graduates in recent years to stand and let the graduates recognize you. Of course, the other group that has also played a very important, in fact, essential role in your education is the GSW faculty. And I'd like the faculty to stand and let us all recognize our faculty.
I sit on the Alumni Association Board of Trustees as a proud graduate of Georgia Southwestern State University. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, I extend to each and every graduate our congratulations for your achievement today. You are now officially an alumnus of GSW. And you represent our belief that education coupled with hard work and being of service to others can make a real difference in the world. The Alumni Board encourages you to keep us informed of your progress as you set out in search of your careers. Your successes will be our university's shared reward. The Alumni Association is working to establish the Gold Alumni Program, which will consist of graduates of the last decade. The focus is to re-energize the GSW pride and traditions among Gold alumni and connect you to alumni, students, and the GSW community. This program will also establish a Gold Alumni Council in which you can be a part of. So please visit the GSW Alumni Association website for more information and get involved. Now, I would like to illustrate to you how important it is to give back to the university. If you are a current GSW student or a current GSW graduate in today's ceremony, or a GSW alumni who has received a cash scholarship or a scholarship of any kind, please stand. Okay. Okay, you may be seated. Now, if you are an alumni of GSW, faculty, administrative staff, or a friend of GSW, and you've made a contribution to the university, please stand. Thank you. You may be seated. You can see there are many students that benefited from receiving scholarships. But the reality is that there's a small number of individuals who actually make donations to the university. So please, graduates, as you go out and become successful, don't forget about GSW. Give back to the university so that the next generation of students can afford college tuition and other educational costs here on campus. For the graduates, as you sat down this morning, you should have noticed a small book of advice called A Word Before You Go. Please take the time to look through to read the quotes and use this book of advice as a networking tool. And please visit the GSW Alumni Association website page and provide your very own quote for the next publications. Again, congratulations to the graduate class of 2013 and the best of luck on your journey to success. Thank you.
Please stand and join in singing the alma mater, which is printed on the back of your program.